High Commander Vexandra studied the tactical hologram with satisfaction, her scaled fingers tracing the projected invasion routes to the Sol system. Intelligence reports had painted Earth as a peaceful world, technologically advanced, but fundamentally pacifist, with no standing military and defensive capabilities, limited to orbital platforms around major colonies. A civilization of philosophers and scientists, she mused to her war council, aboard the flagship Dominance. Their emissions suggest they spend more resources on art galleries than weapon foundries. The assembled officers clicked their approval. The hegemony had conquered 17 systems in the past decade, each victory easier than the last. Earth would be no different, a rich prize wrapped in the delusion of perpetual peace. Launch the invasion fleet, Vexandra commanded. 1,000 ships should be more than sufficient to claim this garden world. 3 months later, the hegemony armada emerged from hyperspace at the edge of the Sol system. Vexandra's confidence remained unshaken as her sensors detected exactly what intelligence had predicted: a handful of research stations, commercial shipping lanes, and what appeared to be a small defensive perimeter around Earth itself. No intercepting fleet, no forward positions, reported Tactical Officer Krikstal. They're clustering around their homeworld like frightened younglings. As expected, Vexandra replied, "Begin the advance. Maintain formation. This will be over within days." But Dr. Elena Rodriguez, director of Earth's Planetary Defense Council, watched the approaching armada from the command center, buried 3 kilometers beneath the Swiss Alps, and her expression was anything but frightened. Around her, hundreds of technicians worked at stations that had been constructed in absolute secrecy over the past 50 years. Confirmed contact director reported her aide, Commander Park. 1,000 vessels, hegemony configuration. ETA to Earth orbit, 72 hours. Rodriguez nodded calmly. Initiate protocol Sleeping Giant. Authorization Rodriguez 77 Alpha. Across the solar system, installations that had masqueraded as research facilities, mining operations, and communication arrays suddenly revealed their true nature. The asteroid mining station at Ceres opened like a flower, exposing massive railgun batteries. The Deep Space Observatory, beyond Pluto, began broadcasting targeting solutions to hidden weapon platforms scattered throughout the outer system. But the most dramatic transformation occurred on Earth itself. Throughout the planet's major cities, what citizens had believed were earthquake monitoring stations simultaneously rose from underground bunkers. Massive turrets emerged from parks, sports stadiums converted into missile silos, and the International Space Station detached its civilian modules to reveal a fully armed orbital weapons platform. High Commander Vexandra felt her first moment of unease when her long-range sensors detected energy spikes throughout the Sol system. "What are those readings?" she demanded. "Unknown, Commander. The signatures are significant, and they're everywhere." The hegemony fleet was still 2 days from Earth when the first surprise struck. The seemingly empty space around Neptune suddenly lit up with weapons fire as concealed defense platforms revealed themselves. Dozens of hegemony ships found themselves under attack from enemies they couldn't see until moments before impact. "Stealth mines," Krikstal shouted as proximity alarms screamed across the fleet. "The entire outer system is seeded with them." Vexandra watched in growing horror as her advanced squadrons were systematically destroyed by weapons emerging from asteroids, moons, and apparently empty space. Each destroyed ship provided targeting data for the next wave of hidden defenses. "How is this possible?" she hissed. Intelligence reported no military infrastructure. The answer came in the form of a transmission from Earth. Dr. Rodriguez appeared on the main screen, her calm demeanor a stark contrast to the chaos erupting around the hegemony fleet. "High Commander Vexandra," she began, I am Dr. Elena Rodriguez, Director of Earth's Planetary Defense Council. I believe there's been a misunderstanding. Surrender now, human, and your death will be swift. Vexandra snarled. Rodriguez smiled sadly. I'm afraid you've misinterpreted our nature. Yes, we are peaceful. Yes, we prefer diplomacy to warfare. But you seem to have confused peaceful with defenseless. The transmission shifted to show the true scope of Earth's hidden defenses. Massive underground complexes stretched beneath every continent. The moon revealed itself to be honeycombed with launch silos and manufacturing facilities. Mars, supposedly a scientific colony, rotated to show vast shipyards that had been concealed on its far side.
You see, Commander, humans learned a valuable lesson from our own history, Rodriguez continued. Peace is not the absence of the capacity for war, it's the choice not to use that capacity. We have chosen peace for generations, but we have never chosen helplessness. The hegemony fleet found itself caught in an expanding sphere of destruction as Earth's true defensive network activated. Ships that had seemed like harmless cargo haulers suddenly bristled with weapons. Space stations revealed hidden missile batteries. Even the asteroid belt itself seemed to turn hostile as mining equipment was rapidly converted into kinetic bombardment systems. Impossible! Vexandra screamed as her fleet's formation collapsed under the coordinated assault. No species can hide this level of militarization. We didn't hide it, Rodriguez replied calmly. We simply built it with dual purposes. Every deep space mining laser can be weaponized. Every industrial fabricator can produce munitions. Every civilian transport can carry troops. We call it peace through preparedness. The final shock came when Earth itself began to move. The planet's rotation shifted as massive gravitic engines, disguised as tectonic monitoring stations, adjusted its position. Earth was not just defended, it was a mobile fortress, capable of dodging incoming attacks while optimizing its own weapons firing angles. High Commander Vexandra watched her 1,000-ship armada reduced to fewer than 200 vessels in mere hours. The humans fought with a coordination that spoke of centuries of preparation, using weapons that turned the very infrastructure of their civilization into an impregnable defense network. Commander, Kriksdal's voice was barely a whisper. Recommend immediate withdrawal. We cannot fight an entire star system that has been converted into a weapon. But Vexandra was no longer listening. She stared at the tactical display showing Earth's defensive perimeter, now revealed to extend throughout the entire Sol system. Every moon, every asteroid, every piece of space debris had been turned into part of a vast defensive network. Dr. Rodriguez's voice cut through her shock. Commander, this is your final warning. Leave our system now, and we will allow your surviving ships to depart. Continue this attack, and we will demonstrate why humans have remained peacefully isolated for so long. What are you? Vexandra whispered. We are gardeners who learn to tend thorns as well as flowers, Rodriguez replied. We are philosophers who understand that wisdom includes knowing when not to fight, and when fighting becomes unavoidable. We are the species that looked at the stars and chose to build defenses so terrifying that we would never need to use them. The remaining hegemony ships began their retreat, limping away from a system that had revealed itself to be the most heavily fortified location in known space. As they fled, Vexandra received one final transmission from Earth. Commander, please carry this message back to your empire. Earth remains committed to peace. We will continue to seek diplomatic solutions to all conflicts, but never again mistake our preference for diplomacy as an inability to defend ourselves. We have been preparing for this day since we first looked up at the stars and wondered what else might be looking back. The transmission ended, and the Sol system returned to its deceptive tranquility. Research stations resumed their scientific work, mining operations continued their resource extraction, and Earth itself settled back into its normal rotation. But now the galaxy knew the truth. Humanity had not been passive. They had been patient, and there was a profound difference between the two. Dr. Rodriguez returned to her duties, already composing reports on the defensive network's performance. The system had worked exactly as designed, so effectively that Earth might enjoy another century of peace before anyone else dared to test their resolve. After all, the best weapon was the one you never had to use twice.